Hey guys, got Level here with a brand new overlay pack, an animated overlay pack called Start. It's available right now at gumroad.com/getlevel, but it's kind of special, so I'm gonna make this video showing you what is included in the pack as well as how to use it. One thing to absolutely know before you start is read the product description before downloading anything, before buying food, before buying clothes, in life in general. As a responsible adult or teenager, I don't know, for all the common sense people, I'm so sorry, but I get so many messages about people who basically are telling me, hey, I am complaining because I did not read the product description, and when I got the product, it was different than what I imagined in my head. Do not imagine stuff. Read the product description. Everything is included in the product description. The video just started and I'm already yelling at you. Okay, so this is the quick thumbnail of the overlay pack. This is what it looks like. It's obviously going to be animated. Yeah, let's get into the details. When it comes to what is static, you're going to have an avatar. This is a template you can drag and drop on top of your face on any editing software. Photoshop, GIMP, Microsoft Paint. The middle is transparent, so you put your picture, you drop this on top of it, and boom, you have an avatar. This is the main background. This one is the static version. There's also an animated. Don't be worried. If you're, I don't know, you're streaming from a laptop, you can't have animated overlays. Boom, there's a static version of it. This is going to be a banner for your Twitch page. This is the static version of the narrow camera overlay, the static version of the large or wide camera overlay. There's also the animated version of those. And this is the static version of the intermission screen. Kind of looks like a Nintendo DS, but your face is supposed to be on top. The gameplay is supposed to be at the bottom. Actually, not the gameplay, the lobby. Well, this is intermission. This is while you're waiting to change servers or whatever. And then here, you can't see much, but on the left, you will see some icons, some label icons. We have cheer, we have sub, we have top donator, and then we have non-affiliate, which is going to be follow, donation, and then top donator. Right here, we have an offline image right here. And this is for the static stuff. And also we have the panels. We have a bunch of panels, including a blank one. So if you want to change the font, if you want to change the color, if you want to do your own, basically this is blank. Just bring it into whatever editing software or website. I recommend photopia.com because it's Photoshop for free online. And then we have a bunch: Discord, donate, merch, music, Patreon, schedule, Snapchat, social, subscribe, TikTok, website, wishlist, YouTube. Boom. Let's get into the animated ones. Now, this is what is special with this overlay pack. There's not a lot of animated files, but it is just as much as any other overlay pack. The only difference here is that the animated background is the main animated part. Every screen is just going to have a different text to say what it is. Starting soon, be right back, stream ending. But they're going to be using the same background. So instead of rendering 4 different backgrounds, I just rendered one. And then you can also not only put your own text to say starting soon, be right back and all that, but you can change the language. So if you do not speak English, or if you want to add some fancy text in there, you can do that yourself in your broadcasting software. So boom, this is the main animation. I'm just going to make sure that it's repeating. It's 10 seconds, I believe. Yes, 10 seconds animation. You have the glow in the middle here. The bottom of the chat also glows from time to time. There's also this little transition for the blue parts of the labels, and the bottom part also glows. It's a seamless animation, so people will not be able to tell when the loop starts or ends. Boom. Another thing I did here is the exact same animated background. I added it as a WebM. The reason why is that some people are using Lightstream, and I recently was aware that Lightstream only uses WebM. So if people are using Lightstream with console, if you don't know what Lightstream is, don't just skip this part or just look it up. But I'm starting to optimize my overlays to be more compatible with more services and more broadcasting softwares. For the WebMs, here we have the narrow camera overlay. As I told you, this animation is pretty soft at the bottom, or pretty subtle, I should say. The bottom just subtly glows every 5 seconds, so it's not too distracting. Very, very subtle. And then we also have the wide camera overlay. So same thing, bottom actually glows. And this is like the 1080p version, so it's full screen, but it's not meant to be used full screen. This is going on top of your gameplay, the actual gameplay while you're playing the game. And then we have the animated version of the intermission screen. Same thing here. We have the transition for the left side. The bottom glows. The middle has a little arc reactor thing to it, and then the chat glows from time to time also. Okay, how do you use it? Let me show you real quick. Here we're in Streamlabs OBS. I'm gonna guess that you know how to use your own broadcasting software, but you are logged in with your account, so you can bring in labels and alert box and all of that. We will need 4 scenes. So let's add a new scene. This one's gonna be intermission. This is gonna be BRB. This is gonna be ending, no, game. And then ending. I usually don't recommend to have an ending screen because you're supposed to host people, but let's go to scene. This is the starting scene. In source list, we're gonna click plus. That's how you add a new source. We're gonna click media source because we're gonna go find an animated overlay. That is our background. Remember the background? Click browse and find that animated background. You can put MP4 or the WebM. Both of them works. Click open and don't forget to click loop. That's the only way it doesn't disappear after the 10 seconds. Boom, now it's gonna loop seamlessly and we can start adding stuff. For example, the chat box, I'm gonna click plus. I'm gonna go find to the right somewhere it says chat box right here. Boom, 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 and click add source. Okay, I'm gonna drag this to the side to see the size of my chat box. I can tell it's already too wide. So what I'm gonna do is actually make it a little smaller. And the width, I'm gonna make that 300. It's gonna be half of it. Okay, this is pretty nice. I could make this fit perfectly with the height, but I'm just gonna crop. I'm gonna hold Alt on my keyboard and drag the top, so it just crops it. Now, if I show my chat, if you don't have it on the left, it's probably on the right. It's just a little arrow here, and then you can type. Now, your chat box probably not gonna look like that. I modified mine, so you decide what your chat box is gonna look like. Okay, one thing to note is that you don't want this to disappear. So we're gonna double click on the chat box, go to source, go all the way here and see shut down source when not visible. You wanna uncheck that basically. And then from now on, when you type, if you change scenes basically and you come back, chat will still be there. Otherwise it disappears. All right, let's add some text. Let's add some text that says starting, for example. Let's add text. Click OK, that's the text, and I'm gonna type starting, but I'm gonna put some space in between the starting just to make it kind of look fancy. All right, cool. You can see the quality is kind of doo-doo right now, so let's bring it up. Okay, it's better to have super high quality and then you manually scale it down. Let's just do this. You can do whatever font you want. I used Corbel in the main design, except like for the panels, but you really need to use whatever you want. Right click, transform, and center on screen. Boom. Now it's supposedly centered. You can always use like the arrows on your keyboard if you don't feel like it's too centered, but that should be fine. That should be just fine. Okay, let's add some labels on the left here. Let's click plus. Again, you're logged in with your Twitch account, so your labels will be right here in Streamlabs OBS. That is, if you don't know how to add labels, just look up your type how to add labels in whatever you're using, OBS Studio or OBS Live or XSplit, I don't know. But wait, we have an issue. We haven't added the icons yet. Sorry. Cancel the labels and add the icons. Okay, those are images, so they're not animated. Click add source and icons. Boom, add source and go find the labels. So we have labels for affiliate people, so label F, and label non-F, it's non-affiliate. The difference here is that you're gonna have some icons. For example, you can get subs or bits as a non-affiliate. So keep that in mind, just use the non-affiliate one and boom, it places it perfectly on top of our labels here. And now we can add the stream labels. So click plus, stream labels. And the first one is cheerer. Boom, we're gonna name this add source and we're gonna type recent cheerer. Whoops, recent cheerer. Okay. Boom, that's gonna give me my recent cheerer. I'm gonna place it. Click OK and then place it. I'm looking to place it to the left, but also in the middle when it comes to vertically. So now I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna click filter. I'm gonna add a filter and I'm gonna have a voice crack. I'm gonna click scroll because we want it to scroll. We're gonna limit the width because it can't be too wide. And we're gonna go with 210. Boom, that seems kind of perfect. I'm gonna move it with my arrow keys a little bit like that. Actually, I forgot to make it actually scroll. So we're gonna go back to filters and horizontal speed. We're gonna get something like around 10. 8 is fine, so it's not too distracting. Boom, that's nice. Now you do the same. I'm just kidding. You don't do the same thing for the rest. You're just gonna right click on cheerer here. You're gonna click copy. You're gonna right click again and paste duplicate. It's important that it's duplicate and nothing else, okay? What just happened? Okay, weird bug, but let's do that again. Right click cheerer, copy, right click duplicate. Boom, and now you have this twice. You see on the left where it says 323, that's the distance between the border and this text. So drag it down and make sure it's 333 on this side and then just eyeball this. Now all you have to do, since it's a duplicate, is double click on it and pick whatever that is. What is that? Recent sub. So type recent sub. Most recent subscriber. Boom. And look at that. Super easy. Right click again, duplicate again, drag, drop, make sure it's 333 and double click. This is going to be top donator, and boom, all-time top donator. Boom, and you have your three things. You could rename them, but I'm not gonna bother because this is a tutorial. I want to go fast. What I'm gonna do now is the icons plus those three little labels, I'm gonna group them and call them labels. So I held shift on my keyboard, click the bottom one, the top one, and I'm gonna click group top here. You can also right click and I think group or link or something like that, and call it labels. Boom, this is your group called labels. From now on, you can turn it off and turn it on, and you can do whatever. Okay, cool. Now, there's another thing that I want is the chat box and the overlay. Those are two things that I want to reappear. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna select them, holding shift, group them, and call that screen, for example. You name it, whatever you want. Boom, so now I have labels and I have screen. I'm gonna select both of those, click copy. Also make sure that the text is on top of it. Also make sure that labels is on top of screens. And I'm gonna go to be right back, for example, and I'm gonna click on the screen, right click, reference. Boom. You see how now we have a be right back screen? Let's go to ending, right click, paste, reference. Now I can go back to the starting and I can right click the text, copy, go to be right back, right click, paste, duplicate. Now I have a different text. And if I do this, I can call this one break, for example. Can make it align center so it's not as annoying. Let's go ahead and click transform. So I right clicked on it, transform, and then center on screen. Boom, there you go. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. And boom, you have your break scene. So I can right click on that text, copy, go to ending, right click, duplicate, I have break, and this is ending. Right click, transform, center on screen. Nice. And just like that, you just made 4 screens. Well, three screens. That match perfectly. Now let's add the intermission. The intermission, what is it? It's the animated version. Click media source. If you want the static version, click in image and click add new source instead. We're not gonna even name it. We're gonna find the animated version. Intermission.webm. Make sure you click loop, otherwise it's gonna disappear. Boom, you have it. Actually, you can right click labels here and you can right click and paste a reference. In this case, we want a reference. We want this to be the same. Same thing for the chat box individually. You can open up your group that says screen, right click, copy, intermission, boom, paste, reference. And here you have your chat box and your intermission screen. Let's go to the game scene. Here we have nothing. We want the animated camera overlay. Let's click add source. Let's click new source, cam overlay, add source, find the source. It's called camera overlay. Let's go with the narrow one. Boom, boom. Let's add a video capture device. This is going to be our camera. Video capture device, add source. You can add whatever you want. You can add like your C920, for example. Mine is probably, it's kind of weird right now, so I'm going to switch it. Let me pick my 4K camera instead. Come on, let's go. Nice. Okay, let's drag and drop it behind the camera overlay. Camera overlay that stopped showing up because I forgot to loop it. This is use this as a lesson for yourself. I don't like the way that I'm facing, so I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna go transform. I'm gonna flip horizontal, so I'm facing that way because I know my camera is gonna be on the left and I want to be facing towards the content. It just makes sense. And now I'm gonna align it in a way that fits the camera overlay, so I'm not spilling out, if you will. You kind of center yourself depending on where you're sitting, and then you can hold Alt on your keyboard and drag the sides in order to crop. So hold Alt, boom, I'm cropping, boom, I'm cropping, like that. I'm gonna hold shift on my keyboard in order to select both of those and group them. And then I'm just gonna call this cam, for example. Boom, and now you can scale them together because they're a group. You can even place them wherever you want together. And at the bottom, you will probably have your game capture. So let's add a game capture source. Boom, boom, boom. If you had a game, you could probably find it here, capture specific window, and then you find a game. But in our case, we're just demonstrating the possibilities. Make sure it's underneath your camera overlay, and now it is visible. Okay, cool. Let's add those things to this scene, for example. So game capture, boom, we already have a game capture source. Add source, drag and drop it to the bottom. Okay, but now it doesn't fit. So I'm gonna lock every other layer, boom, boom, just to make sure that I don't move anything else. And I'm gonna show you the way that this was meant to be used. So game, you're in the lobby right now. You're not supposed to be showing gameplay that way. And we're gonna add the camera also. Video capture device, same one. I'm gonna right click and flip it. Drag it underneath everything. And now you can pretty much move it so that it fits the top part of it. Okay, so this is what it's supposed to look like. I am not seeing my labels bar indeed, or my labels group at all in this scene. So I probably forgot to add it indeed. I'm gonna right click label, copy here, come here, and paste a reference in this case, because I want it to be the same. There you go. Now I have my labels and everything is super duper clean. And just like that, you have a full animated overlay pack installed in Streamlabs OBS. If you want some cute little stinger transition, you can click on the cogwheel on top of the scenes list right here. Click on the little pencil, that's the edit button, and then you can find whatever you want. I like the slide. I can make it slide from the down, and I just like to make it a little longer. 2000 for me is what I love. That's 2 seconds on the transition. And if I switch from there to there, there's a real transition happening, you know, boom, you're going into the be right back, and then boom, you can go into the game. You can switch the scenes order by just dragging and dropping. But this is pretty much the basic. Now, let's say you want to change the color or you want to add your own text on certain things. First of all, you can add your text here. Just click plus and click text. But if it's not in the broadcasting software, it's for Twitch, it's for the banner, the avatar, the offline image. I'm also going to show you that. But first, if you want to change the color, if you don't like blue, I get it. Okay. Blue is not for everyone. Just click. I probably should have said that. Right click, filters, plus to add a new filter, go to color correction, click done, and then play with the hue shift. And look at that. It's green now. Oh, now it's yellow. Oh, look at that. Now it's kind of reddish. Now it's orangish. Now it's purple. Now it's a deeper blue. Now it's another purple, another shade of purple. Me not knowing all the colors. But yeah, whatever color. You can also play with the contrast and the gamma. And if you just want to add this to other stuff, you can just right click on it, click copy filters, go to intermission screen, for example, find the media source, which is the intermission animation, and paste filters. Boom, everything is purple now. You did it. Congratulations. Now, step 2, if you want to add your own banners and you know nothing about how to add text to images, which you can do in Microsoft Paint, but that's fine. Go to photopea.com. Let me actually just refresh all of this and not save anything. Boom. Remember in the pack where you have your own panels, even a blank one? Let's just add that. I'm going to drag and drop the blank one. Boom, you have a blank one. Click on the T, that's usually for text. Click once, wait a second, and then type boom, because you have a weird website called Boom and that's not included in the overlay pack. Select Boom and then pick whatever font you want. In our case, we actually already had Arial. That's what we use for pretty much everything. For some reason, Arial is not part of the normal fonts in Photopea. Very sus, but there's like plenty of other fonts. You know what? We're just going to keep this one. We're going to keep the Deja Vu son. We're going to put spaces in between every letter just to kind of make it match the aesthetic. We're going to grow the size here by dragging up like that. We're going to click on the color. That's the color part. We're going to make it white just to make it fit. And then we're going to drag on the side just to place it pretty much. Okay, let's make sure that it's centered and then centered. Okay, let's click the move tool. All right, that's nice. We can actually align it here. Oh, it's not. You can press Control A, I believe. Control A to select everything. Now you can align it here and you can align it on the other axis. And boom, you just customize your own panel. But another thing you can do here is go down there where it says, you know, that little circle there. You can add a hue saturation adjustment layer, and you can play with the hue. And would you look at that? Same thing as in Streamlabs OBS or OBS Studio, by the way. Everything that I've shown is also possible in OBS Studio. And you can fix the color, and you can have your own color. That works with every single image file. I don't think I need to tell you that, but you got this. You got this. It will work with the offline image too. You know, you drag and drop it. Well, maybe not on this one, but doesn't matter. Let's just drag this underneath the color adjustment. Boom, same color. Would you look at that? I didn't mean to get the offline image in there, but now that we have it, here it is. Same color. Boom. Absolutely fantastic. My last message to you is read the product description. Please, 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 please. There will be a form in the description actually if you want to promote my gumroad.com/getlevel, my overlays to your streamer friends. You can actually make some money off of it. So read the form and check it out. If you have any questions about the overlay pack, do not worry. I will tell you where to ask those questions in the product description. If you want to know how to install the overlay, for example, on OBS Studio or stuff like that, I have videos on the matter, but it's literally the same thing as Streamlabs OBS. It's just slightly different. There's different colors. Apart from all the widgets, like adding the stream labels and adding the chat box might be just a little different. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I know this pack is not as complete as the rest of my packs, but it's basically more versatile, and you can just put whatever text you want, make it whatever language you want, and it's more universal. So it's more accessible, which is the whole point of me making those free and very, very, very affordable overlay packs, is so that it's accessible to all of you. So you can't use the excuse, I don't have any money and that's why my Twitch channel looks bad. That's not an excuse that is acceptable anymore. I solved that problem for you. Anyways, top right, this is where YouTube will tell you which video you should watch next, and at the bottom of it you will find my most recent video, so go check it out. Thank you so much for listening to me talking super fast this whole time, and I will see you guys next time. Go out there, make me proud, get level out.